Yesterday saw a heightening of the tensions. It also marked a turning point in the debates, as it always does. You start day 1, day 2, day 3, somewhere in between, the fires begin to get lit and the sparks begin to fly. And we saw that yesterday. Welcome to the last day of playoffs for week 1 of Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ Students Debate Competition Season 7. The playoffs will continue on Monday, by the way, and so far, the judges have selected 6 candidates to advance to the round of 16. Today's debates will determine who will join the 6 candidates in the round of 16. Don't forget, 8 this week, 8 more next week. Today we determine the 2 to join the 6. Remember, only the strongest 16 will make it to the next round, okay? We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. I bid you welcome. I am Femi Obong-Daniels.
I like it when you do your hands like this.
Yes, my cue. Take it from there. It's like football.
I am Yvonne, Okhaifo, Lagos. Welcome to day 4 of Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ playoffs. Our judges are good to go as always. You already know Dr. Chikengbe Adiche by now. He is the chief judge. He is also the head of Department of Communication, Media and Cultural Studies at Pan Atlantic University, Lagos, Nigeria. Judge Isioma Araine is the head of legal and administration for AIM Group. AIM houses Cool FM, Wazobia FM, Nigeria Info, Arawa Radio. Amabasi Ehove is the program officer at Budget Foundation. And our very own Ufoma Egbamuno, who is the news manager for Cool FM, Wazobia FM, and Nigeria Info.
You've met our judges, now meet our partners. Obiwizi, Just Food. Obiwizi, where you can get your gadgets, brand new and pre-owned. Just Food, the makers of Just Delight non-dairy ice cream, Nigeria's first plant-based ice cream. Now you've met our judges, you've met our partners, time to meet our prizes. The winner of IBTD Season 7 will go home with 1 million naira, a GL G10 Pro tablet, a Green Lion folding laptop stand, a Green Lion 3-in-1 combo, a GP Pro gaming console, and a GL Pocket Power Bank. I wish I was that person. The second place finisher will receive 500,000 naira in cash, a GL G10 Pro tablet, a Green Lion 3-in-1 combo, a GL Champion mini speaker, and a mini handheld fan. The third place finisher will receive 250,000 naira, Green Lion AirBuds Pro, a Green Lion Smartwatch Ultra SE, a GL Champion mini speaker, and a mini handheld fan. At this point, we're probably going to be needing bullion vans. So welcome to the show, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. All gadgets, by the way, are courtesy of Obiwizi.
That's right. For sponsorship, please send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. Unfortunately, I cannot call out the number because I hear the owner of that line. The owner of that line has been receiving calls from students. And then he sent me a message and said, Yvonne, please take my number off that thing. These kids,
Idris,
the whole of Lagos. Yes, Idris. Idris says all the Lagos kids have been calling him. And not even calling, flashing him.
And you succumbed?
I mean.
Give me the number. Yeah, I know.
Lord.
I know how it is. Okay, guys, if you would like to be a part of it, try our email. Thankfully, everybody can send email. What's the email, Yvonne?
info@nigeriainfo.fm. The email is info@nigeriainfo.fm.
Well, Idris leads our direct sales team.
That's right.
And I think he deserves every stress he has gotten, because all those students calling him will one day be his clients.
Indeed. Anyway, Lagos, you've met our judges. You know the email address. You can, of course, send your inquiries to regarding sponsorships. You've met us, your hosts. Now it is time to meet the participants. Our first participant for this hour is no stranger to I Beg to Differ. Ogunneye Ayomide. He wowed you people. He wowed you, Lagos, and all other listeners, including his classmates, in his opening debate last year, in the last season, when he, in fact, debated himself because his opponents did not show up. Anyway, Ogunneye Ayomide is 16 years old and happens to be the third student from Ikorodu Senior High School in the competition this season. Femi.
Whoa.
Whether he advances to the round of 16 like Adio Afolarin, well, that remains to be seen. His opponent, Akinyande Deborah, is 15 years old, a greenhorn in this debate. I haven't seen her before, but it's a pleasure to have her here. She is 15, a student of SMA College. What is the full meaning of SMA, baby girl? Talk to me.
It doesn't have a full meaning.
So it's just SMA.
It's a brand.
I like that. It's a brand.
Okay.
Is it an SME?
No.
It's an SMA.
SME. By the way, the name is Akinyande, right? Is that?
It's okay.
No, it's not okay. Okay. How do you pronounce it?
How do you pronounce it?
Akinyande.
Akinyande.
Yes.
Okay, I stand to be corrected. I'll take that again.
Yes, I missed the target myself. But it was better than Akinyande or whatever it was.
I know, because I murdered it. Mine
It's
was far removed.
Akinyande.
Yes.
Akinyande. Okay, Lagos. Akinyande,
Nice,
Deborah.
nice ring to it. And a good,
Akinyande.
and a good meaning to, which I won't be surprised if you don't know. Yeah, but it happens. This is 2024.
Right. Akinyande Deborah is 15 years old, a student of SMA College. SMA has no full meaning. It's just, as Deborah has said, a
It
brand.
does. Deborah just doesn't.
It's a brand.
Yeah, we'll find out later. They say by the next time, if you qualify, the next time you come here, I'm sure you will tell us that SMA actually has a meaning. Let me say welcome to Ayomide Ogunneye. How are you doing, Ayomide?
I'm doing fine, sir.
Are you ready for this?
Yes, sir.
Aha.
Fantastic.
There's no self-debating today. Well, not for this debate. Let's pit Ayomide and Deborah together.
That's right. The topic is that parents are as guilty as their children who have committed crimes. Parents are as guilty as their children who have committed crimes. One will argue in favor, the other against. It is quite the topic, Femi, I know. But here are your rules just in case.
Parents are going like,
Hey, how is it my fault?
So sorry, what?
Well, it's about to be interesting in the studio. Anyway, lady and gentleman, you will each get 3 rounds of debate. The presentation, the rebuttal, the closing. The presentation round is where you are able to, open your argument and lay your case, plead your case. As you do, your opponent takes down your points, okay? The points that your opponent takes down will be used for the rebuttal rounds. I hope you're paying attention.
Yes, ma'am.
Your rebuttal rounds are your chance, okay, to pick apart the points made by your opponent. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If your opponent makes 10 points, those 10 points are supposed to be picked apart by you. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, should you finish picking apart those points before your time elapses, you may proceed to add extra points of your own. Emphasis on the originality and uniqueness of those extra points that you choose to add in the rebuttal rounds. That is after you have finished rebutting your opponent's point. Do you understand? Remember, you have 3 minutes for each round. If you finish rebutting your opponent's point in 1 minute 30 seconds, you have extra 1 minute 30 seconds. If you wish to add more points that are unique and original, do you understand? Do you understand?
Not really.
The rebuttal rounds are a chance for you to rebut your opponent's points, right? You have 3 minutes to do so. But if you finish rebutting your opponent's points before your 3 minutes end, you may wish to add extra points of your own. Okay? Extra points that are unique and original. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
But that's not to say that in the closing round, you are no longer allowed to add extra points. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
this is just so that you can, make judicious use of your time. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And of course, you have the closing round, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Just to be clear on that. Now, I've got 2 folded pieces of paper, as you know, always with me, on me. And you will choose the side you will debate. These little things that are folded will tell you whether you will debate in favor of the motion or against the topic. Remember, you were also told to prepare for both sides of the argument. Is that clear? Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Then let's perform the ritual.
As that goes on, a quick reminder that the judges will award points based on the number, the quality, and originality of every unique point you make. I repeat, points are awarded to you based on the number, quality, and originality of every unique point you make. The judges will also judge your style based on the clarity of thought and eloquence of your presentation. Remember, points based on originality and uniqueness. If you are both tied, as Yvonne had said earlier on, after your presentation, rebuttal, and closing rounds, we will break that tie with a tiebreaker round. For that tiebreaker round, you will switch sides. In other words, you will have 5 minutes to argue the position previously argued by your opponent. 1 shot, and that will be it. And then we will score you again based solely on the switching of sides, the tiebreaker round. If that is clear, I would appreciate an affirmation.
Yes, sir.
Ayo, okay? It's very clear to you. Deborah, Ayo, how about you?
Yes, sir. So you were saying something like 5 minutes.
Yes.
5 minutes for
5 minutes each.
For the
For the
tiebreaker round.
tiebreaker
the tiebreaker round. All right.
That's right.
Yes. for
Just
the-
only presentation.
yes, just once. Five minutes.
All right.
And you can talk yourself into the next round or out of the competition in 5 minutes. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Brilliant. Let's
All right,
do.
then. The candidates know the rules. They have the topic. They have picked the sides. We will now find out how they picked. I will start with the lady to my right. How did you pick?
I'm opposing.
You are opposing the motion that parents are as guilty as their children who have committed crimes.
Yes, ma'am.
That leaves Ayomide with the supporting side.
motion.
Interesting, Lagos. We'll take a very, very short
Deborah,
break.
don't worry. You've got all the parents in Lagos behind you. Let's do this.
We'll take a very, very short break. And when we come back, we will hear the debaters go.
The talk doesn't stop. Join the conversation on the air and online. Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. Facebook Nigeria Info 99.3. And on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos. Let's talk.
All right, Lagos, it is time to debate. 16-year-old Ayomide Ogunneye, Ikorodu Senior High School, SS3. 15-year-old Deborah Akinyande, SMA College, SS3. Yvonne?
The topic is whether or not parents are as guilty as their children who have committed crimes. The motion supporter is Ogunneye Ayomide. The motion opposer is Akinyande Deborah. We will start with the motion supporter. Ayomide, your 3 minutes start now.
Parents who neglect their duties to instill values and discipline into their children and not just bystanders. They are also accomplices in the crime their children commit. On that note, good evening, the moderator, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and my ever listening audience. My name is Ayomide Ogunneye from Ikorodu High School, and I'm here to support the motion, which is parent has guilty their children who have committed crime. To begin with, negative parental influence. Parent more children values behaviors, sharing responsibility of guiding ethical choices through parental guidance and influences. Negative parental influence can actually affect can actually make a child to commit crime. Research has shown that there is correlation between negative parental influence and tendency of a child who involves in delinquent behaviors. Besides that, early childhood development. Parents are guilty when the early childhood development of a child is marked by inadequate guidance and negative influence, thereby making children to commit crime in the society. In addition to my point, role modeling. Parents serve as role model. If a parent should condone or engage in any criminal activities, the children are more inclined to do so. According to the Badura social theory, it was clear that individuals learn through observation and modeling. Parents who commit crime, their children will be more internalized to copy their parent, because this is what their parents do most of the time. In addition to my point, lack of support and control. Parents who are not actually supporting or controlling or supervising their children, or who are not inactively engaging the lives of their children, can significantly make their child commit crime. According to the Valparaiso University in Australia, it was stated that it is illegal for parents not to supervise or control their children. That if a child should commit crime due to that failure, the parents should be held responsible for that crime. Parents should be deemed guilty and be responsible for their children's crime. Besides that, neglect. Parents who neglect their children's emotional, educational, and physical needs make their children to engage in crime. This neglect means that parents do not provide clear guidance for their children. According to National Education Statistics in the United States of America, stated that children from neglected backgrounds drop out from school, perform poorly academically, and engage in delinquent behaviors because they are not respected in their home. Most of the time, their parents neglect their duties, thereby instilling discipline and respect into these children. Moreover, inconsistent discipline. Parents who inconsistently enforce rules into their children will confuse their children about the acceptable behavior in the society, thereby making children to commit behaviors, and also bringing about delinquent behaviors among children. According to the National Institute of Justice, it was stated that over 55,000 of juveniles in the United States of America have committed crime due to ineffective or inconsistent discipline at home. Besides that, parental crime history. Children of parents who have actually committed crime in the past are more likely to engage in criminal activities due to the combination of genetic and environment factors. According to the National Institute of Justice, there is evidence of intergenerational crime, which means that children of incarcerated parents are more likely to engage in criminal activities. In conclusion, parents who do not communication breakdown. Thank you.
All right. I guess a round of applause will do.
That was Ogunneye Ayomide representing Ikorodu Senior High School, the third candidate from Ikorodu Senior High School representing the school in our live studio this season. He is 16 years old and he is in SS3. We will now hear from his opponent, Akinyande Deborah. She is 15 years old, a student of SMA College, and she is the motion opposer. The motion, Lagos, is that parents are as guilty as their children who have committed crimes. Deborah, your 3 minutes start now.
As stated in John Ewood's proverb collection of 1546, it is said that you can take the horse to the water, but you can't force it to drink. I, Akinyande Oluwalonimi, is here before you today to speak against the motion which says parents are as guilty as their children who have committed crimes. Before I state my reasons, I would like to say that parents are legal individuals who have the responsibility of taking and raising a child. Firstly, we have parents who train their children well, but some children are adamant to discipline and correction. As stated earlier in my quote, it is said that you can show children the way to do things, but you can't force them to act. One of the top serial killers in America, named Dan Raider, comes from a good home, but he chose the path to go to criminal activities. Researchers have shown that his siblings actually follow the path of good training. Secondly, peer pressure. Peer pressure is one of the major factors affecting children of nowadays. Remember that peer pressure is not a myth. Peer pressure is not a myth. It's a powerful force that can make or break a person. As children grow older, parents' influences decreases and the opinions of their peers become more and more important. Lastly, social media. Social media affects a child's criminal behaviors. Short movie clips or videos that has content of criminal activities and violence can affect a child. It is said that content is fire, social media is gasoline. I would love to conclude by saying a child's regrettable decision does not make you a bad parent. Even good parents have children who makes poor choices. With these stated reasons, it clearly illustrates why this House should vote against the motion, which says that parents are as guilty as their children who have committed crimes. Thank you.
And that was Akinyande Deborah, 15 years old, a student of SMA College. She is in SS3. And she is the motion opposer. The motion is parents are as guilty as their children who have committed crimes. We'll take a very short break, Lagos, and when we come back, we will hear the rebuttal rounds. This is Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ debate, Season 7. Don't go anywhere.
Are you ready for some gadgets upgrade? Well, I've got some great news for you, baby. Let me introduce you to Obiwizi, Nigeria's pioneer e-commerce platform for pre-owned gadgets. Yes, you heard me. Nigeria's home of gadgets with warranty. Now turn to your neighbor and tell your neighbor, there's some warranty right here, where you can purchase all your favorite gadget and quality accessories, both brand new and pre-owned. And you can also trade in your older device for a newer model in a very simple and convenient way. To crown it all, when you decide to sell off your device to meet that important cash obligation, Obiwizi is your guy. You can also call us on 0813-943-5241. You can follow us on Instagram at ObiwiziCare and on X at Obiwizi. We will definitely respond to your emails on info@obiwizi.com. With convenient offline and pickup stores in Ikeja, Lekki, Abuja, and Benin, Obiwizi delivers nationwide. Can you beat that? Visit our website www.obiwizi.com and upgrade your gadgets the very, very easy way.
It's day 4 of week 1 of Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ debate competition. At 4 o'clock, Ogunneye, Ayomide, and Akinyande, Deborah will debate the topic. Parents are as guilty as their children who have committed crimes. At 5 o'clock, Malizu Ilechukwu and Talabi Halia will debate the topic. Children should be prohibited from playing violent video games. I am Yvonne Okhaifo. Join Femi, Obong-Daniels, and me from 4 p.m. to catch the action. I Beg to Differ Season 7. 32 debaters, 1 winner, 1 million naira. Supported by Obiwizi and Just Food. For sponsorship, call 080-3498-4352 or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ Season 7, a tournament of champions.
Welcome back. This is day 4, the closing day of the first week of the I Beg to Differ Students Debate Tournament. And before we go into what will be the rebuttal rounds, I just want to acknowledge the message from Gapson in Egbeda. Where is your school, Deborah? Where is your school?
It says Ejigbo here.
Oh, it's Jakonde Estate. That is Solo. Okay. All right. Did I hear you call yourself Oluwalonimi?
Yes. No, I didn't say it. You introduced me, so I didn't.
No, I introduced you as Akinyande
Deborah. Yes.
But in your introduction, you said you're Akinyande Oluwalonimi.
Yes, that's my name.
It's your name. Okay. So because it's not on my record, and I took note of it, and I just wrote it down. So is that what your friends know you by?
Lonimi, yes. Call me Lonimi.
They call you Lonimi.
What does that mean, though? It's so beautiful.
God owns me.
God owns me.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, He owns me. So they know you as Lonimi.
Yes,
Lonimi.
Yes,
All right, brilliant. So you prefer to be called that on radio, right?
yes.
Is that what you are called also at home?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, Lonimi, brilliant. Now, to just add this little context, so somebody, Gapsin, sent us this. SMA, that is the school, means Saturday Mathematics Academy.
Is that why you didn't want to say it?
No, it's not the present.
Yeah.
Name. It's
Yes,
not the present
yes,
meaning
yes.
anymore.
Yeah, he explains it. He said it used to be back in the day, like lesson classes before it became a college. So it had already made a name as SMA. So it's located at Jakonde Estate in Solo. Thank you very much, Gapsin.
I mean, when I heard SMA, I just immediately went to baby food.
Yeah, and I thought of SMEs, but again, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense now. Okay, let's continue.
We will now go straight into the rebuttal rounds, and we will start with the motion opposer in the rebuttal round. You said, what were you doing the whole time we went on a break?
I was trying to.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, we will start with the motion opposer, Akinyande Oluwalonimi Deborah. The topic is that parents are as guilty as their children who have committed crimes. Lonimi, your 3 minutes start now.
Standing on existing protocols, I still remain Akinyande Oluwalonimi. My opponent mentioned that parents, there is inconsistent discipline in the family, but I refuse to concur that because some children are actually adamant to discipline and correction. Some children need the rod, as they say in the Bible, spare the rod and spoil the child. Some children need very strict discipline in order to accept training. And you said something about parental crime history. There's a top criminal in America who had children, but the children did not commit any crime, even though the father is in prison and all that. Negative parental influence. Yes, parents have influences on their children, but it's the choice of the child to actually follow whatever, to actually emulate the behavior of their parents. Early childhood development, role modeling. There are some children that don't actually follow the things that their parents do. As I stated earlier, one of the serial killers in America did not follow his parental training, but he went into criminal activities while his siblings followed the good path. You said something about lack of support and control, but the child goes to school, the child associates with the environment, and from there he can get support and control from the environment. It doesn't necessarily need his parents to support and control, even though it would help in maybe his career choices, his decisions, but it doesn't necessarily mean neglect. Yes, some children are neglected maybe while their parents go to work, their parents are trying to provide food for them, but children actually, some children are neglected while their parents go to work, but children actually, they have peers and friends which they can spend time with, and they won't feel bored. They could learn things from their peers, but it depends on the type of friends they keep anyways. But they can learn things from their friends. So I do not agree with your points. Thank you.
All right, then we will now hear from the motion supporter. Ayomide, your 3 minutes start now.
Still standing on existing protocol, I'm here to rebut what my opponent just said. In your opening round, you mentioned that parents have actually trained their children well, and you see most of that children actually go out to engage in delinquent behaviors. I totally disagree with you, because as a parent, if you have effectively disciplined your child, if you have instilled that good values, that good behaviors into your child will not go out and exhibit delinquent behaviors. Even the Bible says, it said, train up your child in the way he should go, and when he or she grows up, he or she will know what depart from it. You also talk about peer pressure, that as students go up, the opinions of their peers become what they do. I totally disagree with you. See, let me try to let you understand that when there is poor communication between parents and a child, when the children do not have access to their parents, or when they cannot trust or open up to their parents, they will actually go outside to get opinions from their peers. See, let me use the case of a child who was unable to, she was actually abused, and she was unable to tell her mother that, okay, yes, this man actually raped me and something like that. Because she was unable to do that, she actually killed the man and actually committed suicide because of what? Because she was unable to communicate with her parent. You also talk about social media, that social media actually makes children commit crime. I think this is due to the ineffectiveness of parents to supervise or control their children. According to the National Institute of Justice, it was stated that only 20 to 30% of parents in the United States of America control their children's activities on social media. And when yet will you give a phone to a child and you will not be able to control it? We never have family link where you can restrict your children's activities on social media. So many things, we say that treatment of social media make them to focus on their studies, remove some kind of porn links, some kind of destructive acts on social media, thereby making your children not to commit crime. In your reporters, you said that there's a serial killer in the United States of America, and he actually commits crime, and the children did not actually commit crime. Try to understand that according to the National Institute of Justice, there is evidence of intergenerational crime. What do I mean by intergenerational crime? It means that parents of incarcerated parents are more likely to engage in criminal activities. Okay, let's use teenage pregnancy for example. Why do you think if you should trace back the background of some children who get pregnant at their teenage age, you see that the mother was actually pregnant in their teenage age, which means that from generation to generation, that traits keep continuing. You also mentioned parental neglect can be due to work or something like that. So you are telling me that because you want to protect your career, because you have a profession, because you have a dream, you neglected your child just for a career. If you know you have a career to pursue, why on earth do you actually give it? I keep asking people, if you know you cannot take care of this child, if you know you cannot provide the necessary basic needs of life for your child, why on earth will you actually give it? Children is not by force. No one actually forces you to give it. You also mentioned that role modeling, that children do not follow their parents, that parents do not serve as role modeling. Let me ask you, who was your first role model when you were actually growing up? Are you telling it was your friends? You were looking up to your mom. Most of the things you do now was actually what your mom actually taught you. Thank you.
All right, a round of applause. And so the rebuttal rounds are over between Ayomide, Ogunneye, and Oluwalonimi, Deborah, Akinyande. Interesting contest so far.
Interesting indeed. We will go straight into the closing rounds. We're almost out of time.
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting indeed. And for this round, we will start with the motion supporter. Ogunneye Ayomide, you're about to have 3 minutes to close your argument and rest your case. And your 3 minutes start now.
My name is Ayomide Ogunneye, and I'm back to complete my point. When parents are actually guilty as their children who have actually committed crime. To begin with, strict parenting. Parents who are actually using strict methods to actually train up their children can actually make their children commit crime. Do you know that most of the time, strict parenting actually affects the children's emotional health, in which they actually engage in some delinquent behavior, inadvertently making them to commit crime? According to the National Bureau of Justice, it was stated that children in which children are actually very strict, engage in criminal activity because they were unable to open up, or they have this free communication with their parents. Besides that, communication breakdown, poor communication between a parent and a child, hinder the potential for trust and openness. And most of this time, it is impossible for parents to create that supportive environment when their children can feel comfortable to seek guidance and advice. According to a study of a journal published in 2016, that's the Journal of Parents and Marriage, it was stated that children who don't have good communication with their parents are more likely to engage in criminal activities. In addition to my point, denial or ignorance. Parents who deny or ignore their children can significantly make their child commit crime. What might be mean by this? Parents will know that your child is actually doing this kind of behaviors, and yet you deny or ignore it due to the fact that you don't want your child to feel offended, or you don't want your child to actually see you as a bad person. Most of the time parents do this, and this has made children think that made children see the wrong thing as the right thing, because most of the time their parents don't correct them. According to the National Institute of Justice, it was stated that parents who deny or ignore their children's activities in delinquent behaviors, most of the time their children tends to commit crime. Besides that, enabling behaviors, parents who knowingly or unknowingly make their child commit crime by providing resources, excuses for their children's crime, most of the time their children are more likely to engage in crime. If you should watch the CNN news lately, you will see that there's a case of a child that was Jennifer Crumbley, in which the jury held her responsible for her child's crime, because in 2021 in Michigan, the name of the school was actually Michigan School. Her son killed 4 students, wounded 6 students and a teacher due to the fact that her mother gave him a gun in the name of self-defense. Can you actually imagine that? How on earth will you give a child that is under 10 years gun because you want him to defend himself? And you're telling me that parents are not as good as their children who committed crimes. You're also talking about besides that, let's go to lack of rehabilitation. Lack of rehabilitation deepens parental guilty. Parents who are unable to address the criminal behaviors of their children, parents who are unable to give support or advice to their children that have actually engaged in delinquent behaviors, their children are more likely to commit crimes. In conclusion, it is being backed up by the law. Australia, United States of America, Britain, Canada have stated in their constitution that a child that commits crime, the parents should be held responsible, because the parents have power, you have that strength, you have that idea to actually raise up a children. If a child should commit crime, it is the failure of the parent. Thank you.
All right, Ayomide Ogunneye lands. He closes his arguments, and it's now down to Oluwalonimi Akinyande to close her own arguments. Yvonne?
Oluwalonimi, your 3 minutes start now.
I want to conclude by saying it is undeniable that parents have a crucial role in the upbringing of a child, but an individual is always responsible for their actions. If a child commits murder, the parents don't go to prison for the child's actions, but the child faces the wrath of the law. Parental accountability is important in cases of neglect, but children who commit crime have to face the wrath of law. While parents try to provide nurturing and supportive environments, the crime committed is in the hands of the perpetrator. Remember that life is a matter of choices, and the choices you make either makes or mar you. Thank you.
Gracias, muchas. Little bit of my Spanish there. And so both debaters have ended their arguments. It's up to the judges now.
At this moment, the judges are judging, collating their results, and we will see. But so far, kudos to both debaters. Ogunneye Ayomide is a proud representative of Ikorodu Senior High School. He is 16 years old. He is a returning contestant. Akinyande Oluwalonimi Deborah is a greenhorn in this competition. This is a first battle of fire. She is in SS3, a student of SMA College, a proud representative of SMA College. You've heard them debate the topic. Parents are as guilty as their children who have committed crimes. You've heard the presentation, the rebuttals, and the closing rounds. It is now indeed up to the judges. But in the meantime, while we wait for the judges to collate their results, I just made a few notes here and there for the benefit of the students, because again, you are students, we're all students of life, but you are students of school. I'd like to start with Ogunneye Ayomide. This is just a pointer. When you're referring to one object, okay, you say that, right? In a demonstrative case, you say that. But when you're referring to more than one, you say those. If the person or object you're referring to is away from you, Now, that is similar in a case when the person or the object is close to you. So if that object is singular, you say this, okay, as opposed to that. So this is for an object or a person close to you. That is for an object or a person further away from you. But in the plural case, you say these or those. Do you understand? And I say this in with regard to your point about, I think you were referring to criminals and their parents, and you say, how can you say this about that children? You made a point like that. You could have said those children, okay? Do you understand? So just take note of that, okay? And it's comfortable, not comfortable. Comfortable. Fantastic. Comfortable. And of course, it's denial, not denier. Denial, okay? Denial. And academically, not academically, okay? But great work to you. And to you, Lonimi, well done. I mean, I feel like you just when you're nervous, breathe, okay? And you were told to prepare for both sides of the argument. But it seemed to me as though you prepared for just one side. Because when you opened the piece of paper and saw, oppose, it was almost as though your spirit just, left your body for a few seconds. But it's all right. It's all right. The judges are judging. We will see how it goes. You never know these things, right? But in future, one thing that really boosts your confidence is preparation. If you prepare well enough, okay, even when you're a bit anxious, you know what you want to talk about. You already know it. It's like second nature to you. So you're not going to be fazed as much. Okay? Look, may the best debater win today. I don't envy the judges. But we'll see how it goes. Femi.
Well, brilliant. I guess the points of correction have been noted. There are quite a few more, but, we will spare that. But please pay attention in subsequent debates, whoever progresses.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, how you enunciate, how you elucidate your points, and how much command of language that you have and display will affect, if nothing else, your style. And you want to go as high up on style as much as possible. So all the best. Pay attention to it. I know in rapid speech there are mistakes that are inevitable, but please pay attention to it.
And
with that
so
said,
the results are in.
Yep. Time for the decider. All right, we're going to make this as quick as we can. Let me see, where do we start? I'd like to start from the score board of the Chief Judge, Dr. Chike Ngbadije. For the presentation rounds, Dr. Chike scores Ayomide 17, Deborah Lonimi 7. Rebuttal rounds. Ayomide 14.5. Lonimi 7. Closing rounds. Ayomide 10.5. Lonimi 2. Style. Ayomide 8. Lonimi 4. For a total of 50 points to Ayomide and 20 points to Lonimi.
And that brings us to Judge Ama's scorecard. For Ayomide, she awards 19 points, and to Deborah, she awards 7. For rebuttals, Ayomide scores 14 on her scorecard, and Deborah scores 8. For closing, 12 on her scorecard for Ayomide, and 2 for Deborah. For style, 8 on her scorecard for Ayomide, and 3 for Deborah. with a total of 53 points to Ayomide and 20 points to Deborah.
All right. So the scorecard of Judge Ishoma Ahaine for the presentation rounds. Ayomide, 15 points. Lonimi, 8. Rebuttal rounds. Ayomide, 7. Lonimi, 2.5. For the closing round, Ayomide, 5.5 points. Lonimi, 1.5. For style, Ayomide, 6.5. Lonimi, 4. For a total of 34 points to Ayomide and 16 to Lonimi.
And that leaves us with Judge Ufoma's scorecard, where he awards 15.5 points to 7 points for presentation in favor of Ayomide, 14.5 points to 6 points for rebuttals in favor of Ayomide, 12.5 points to 2.5 points for closing in favor of Ayomide. And for style, 7 points to 3 points, still in favor of Ayomide, with a total of 49.5 to 18.5.
All right, giving us a grand total for this debate. Progressing to the round of 16 with 186.5 points against the opponent's 74.5 points. Congratulations, Ayomide Ogunneye.
You have advanced to the round of 16. Congratulations to you as well, Deborah. You made it this far from a pool of over 200 entries. So, I mean, that's a feather to your cap if you ask me. Well done, okay? Ayomide, well done to you as well. We will take a very short break. And when we return, we will hear the next set of debaters. This is Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ Students Debates Competition Season 7, Lagos. We're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Stay here.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.